Star Wars. It's time to accept the real problem is the fans. That was the headline of a recent CBR article where the writer cited that a contingent of Star Wars fans has a problem with women and people of color starring in the franchise, and that many of them are online harassers. And he was right. Many fans are guilty of these things, and their behavior is terrible. The problem, though, is when people in the media and at Disney Lucasfilm lump all unhappy Star Wars fans into this category. If your attitude is that every single person who criticizes Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm is a horrible person who should be shamed into silence, then you're incorrect. The biggest reason for the fan backlash today is a badly written and inconsistent sequel trilogy that doesn't respect Star Wars mythos and history. The heroes of the original trilogy like Luke, Han, Leia, Lando, Chewbacca, R2-D2, and C-3PO, the beloved protagonists who carried this franchise on their backs for decades, have been disrespected and vastly underutilized in the Disney sequel trilogy. The most recent movie, The Rise of Skywalker, was supposed to be the end to their saga and honor their memories, but they were barely in that movie or its trilogy, and when they showed up in the films that were supposed to honor them, they barely did anything or were shadows of their former selves. Most of them never even interacted or talked to each other on screen for very long, if at all. We never got that great Star Wars legacy scene where Luke, Han, Leia, Lando, Chewbacca, R2-D2, and 3PO all got together to fight side by side with each other one last time, which we fans would have loved because Kennedy and her story group snidely and indignantly didn't want to give us that. They knew we'd love that, but we were denied it so they could subvert our expectations instead. We know what's good for you, they seem to say, and you'll like it whether you want to or not. And if we voiced our unhappiness, Lucasfilm and the media told us we were small-minded idiots who were stuck in the past and had to get over it. And the new heroes of the trilogy, Rey, Finn, Poe, and Rose, didn't get the proper character development they sorely needed. Poe had no story arc and had mostly nothing to do over the course of 3 films. Finn was barely more than comic relief, and his Force sensitivity was barely explored, so his character had wasted potential. Rose debuted strongly in one movie, but basically disappeared in the next one. And Rey wasn't a 3-dimensional character. She had no faults or personality to speak of. Her only defining trait was that she was a really powerful Jedi who was the greatest person ever. And she loved Kylo. But outside of her power and her love interest, who was Rey? Where was her depth? We'll never know because the movies never told us. She was supernaturally perfect, always right in every situation, and never in any real sort of danger. The Disney sequel trilogy itself followed no outline from movie to movie. Lucasfilm came up with a lot of the Rise of Skywalker's plot developments at the last minute and rushed to throw everything together in a semi-coherent way. It's not the fans' fault Disney didn't have a plan for their own trilogy. It's Disney's. Disney Lucasfilm had an inability to, or even worse, an unwillingness to, honor characters old and new, for the most part. That's why so many Star Wars fans are unhappy and the main source of our disappointment. It just makes things even more painful for us when people in the media and Disney employees blame us for their mistakes. Yes, there are indeed disgruntled Star Wars fans who behave poorly when the franchise doesn't meet their expectations. But those people don't represent all Star Wars fans. Gaslighting and scapegoating unhappy consumers in the audience doesn't make them want to watch your movies. It just makes them angrier and more resentful. That's why each sequel trilogy film has done more poorly at the box office than the last one. Bad storyline decisions and mistreating the audience doesn't equal success. It equals failure. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like it on YouTube and subscribe to the channel because I appreciate your viewership, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.